Good morning. This is our walk well for a Friday morning, and I just run up here at probably what was record speed. This is a short walk from my house, but I was just on the minutes with this. So this is the view from just up behind where I am. See if you can see down into Rottenstall there, and that's Marpits in the valley. So our walk well, let me just spin you around. Our walk well tip for today is rhythm, tempo and personality of your walk. So what is the rhythm of your walk? Now, many people, if you're a seasoned walker, you'll probably be familiar with this if you do a lot of walking. But what I've noticed, particularly when I started teaching the Nordic walking, is that the rhythm of people's walks is it seems that there's a heartbeat in between. So getting a good rhythm and pace with your walk is really important. The way you can do this, and one of the things we do in the Nordic walking, is a 3 count. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And it may sound odd, but it does pick up a real particular rhythm. And also, if you do it with an odd number, so 1, 2, 3, really notice the quality of your 1 every time you land, because that'll be a different beat. Hello, Rocky. I know. So we've got Rocky here. She's just wondering why I've decided to stop still. So the rhythm, if you do a count of a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, it really helps to pick up to get into a really good rhythm with your walk. Another way to do this, if you do an odd number, is either a 3 count or a 5 count. Now, a 5 count can be good for, or a 3 count can be good for also coordinating your breathing. So if you can breathe in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. Or you could do a breathing pattern with a 5 count. So it's in, 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 4, 3, 2, 1, in, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that can be a really good way of getting a breathing, but it's important for the footstep and the pace that you're looking at. The other thing in terms of pace, and good morning, Lulu, good morning, Judith, and if Alison's there on YouTube as well. So another good thing in terms of rhythm and pace is if you're walking with a friend or a partner, just notice whether you're in rhythm. And I know sometimes this can be tricky, particularly if you've got a partner that's like twice the size of you. But it's really interesting to match, and it brings a real sort of sense of connection. So if you're wanting to connect a lot to the person that you're walking with, see if you can match their pace and rhythm and step. And it was actually interesting because when it snowed the other night, we went out for a walk late at 10:30 at night, so there's no other steps, and we were walking around. As we're coming back, there was somebody else had been out, and these footsteps in the snow really took my attention because the feet were really turned out for a start. And I thought, I'll see if I can walk in someone else's steps. And I've done this before sometimes in mud and stuff. And if you ever see footsteps in snow or mud, give it a try. It's really interesting. But this person's step was a huge lunging step, and it was quite interesting to feel the pattern of somebody else's walk and a rhythm. So just play with that. It's a bit of fun if you want to have a go with that, but matching somebody else's rhythm and pace, if you're walking with a friend or a partner, it's a really good way to build connection. And then the rhythm and pace of I'll just bring you back to the view, do you counting. So either use an odd number, 5 count or a 3 count, and then notice the quality of your 1 on the first step as you go forwards. So 1, 2, 3, breathe in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. So that's your rhythm and pace. We could do a lot more on that in terms of with breathing as well, but I'll leave that for another time. And also arm swings. If you are going to go out for a walk today, look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know how well that video is capturing that, but it is really lovely, and it is meant to be fine all day, and you can see the sunshine breaking through in places. There is a little bit of ice on the ground, and perhaps bring some gloves initially. My hands have really warmed up now, but it is a really lovely day out there. So rhythm, tempo, and the last one I mentioned was personality. What's the personality of your walk? So what I've played with many times over the years is we're all born with, we have a body that's like, we have a familiarity, so what you're born with, and that can also be unique to you, but we also have a structure that's the same as everybody. But how we can become unique can be what you're born with, or it can be life's influences around you and impacts. But also, you can develop your posture and your movements and your walk and your habits by the people around you. So, particularly, your parents or primary caregivers, and then people who you spend a lot of time with, your partners. You can start to sort of walk and move and have gestures. I'm sure that's a familiar concept to you. So you can also, what that means is you can then pick up things that may not be then beneficial. So maybe having a slight tightness in one side of your waist, or over landing heavy on one foot. I'm aware that my son has like slightly picked up, I think nuance that can only be from me, that I know I'm rotated in my pelvis. So look at how you're then moving in terms of who you're surrounded with, but then also play with personalities. So some of the things that I like to play with is imagine sort of like cowboy hips. Imagine you've got a big holster on, and it's like that can be really grounding. Or sort of the Afro-Caribbean women who've got the big hips and the really sassy walk. See if you can take a walk like that. The other ones are, and I can't remember the characters, but if you can imagine a character, it reminds me of Edward Scissorhands. He had the long fingers, but really long legs and really tall and lean. What would be the personality and walk and characteristic of that? And it can really shift up fixed patterns of how you could be locked in and walking. And it's a really good one to play with. So find, like, it could be famous personalities. It could be people that you've just watched. It was interesting. A year or two ago, I was out, and it was before I got my contact lenses in, so my vision was a little bit blurry at that point. And there's a guy coming up and walking over the top, over Crown Point, and I recognised that walk and that posture, and I knew his name and who it was straight away, and I hadn't seen him for 30 years. And I am a real people watcher, and I've watched how people move and walk all my life, even from as far back in my 20s. I worked at Baycut Bass for a couple of years, and I used to see people walk down the side of the pool day in, day out. And this guy, 30 years ago, come in swimming every single day for the 2 years I was walked there, and I hadn't seen him for 30 years. And straight away I recognised he was a tall, sort of like ambling sort of stout, and I knew who it was immediately. So it just, has anybody else experienced that? That before you actually can see their face or even behind them, you can tell instantly from the gestures and the way they walk. So just play with that today. So the rhythm, tempo, and the personalities that you can put into your walk. So it's a beautiful day out there. Thank you, Alison. I'm glad you managed to get to us on YouTube. This is just a short walk from up behind my house. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's meant to be fine all day. There's a little bit of ice out there. Maybe get some gloves on. It's a tiny bit nippy, but if you get a good pace on. So rhythm, pace, and the personality of your walk today. So lovely to see you all. Rocket's eventually sort of gone, settled down a little bit. I don't know if you can see Maya up in there in the background behind me. Have a lovely day. Walk well. Make the most of this weather today. And as you can see, the snow, the dusting of icing is still there on the hills. It looks absolutely beautiful. I don't know what sort of state my hair's in, because I've paced up this hill really fast today to get up here for this. So enjoy your day and have a lovely morning, and I shall see you all soon. Goodbye.